Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where I talk about personal finance. Today I'm going to talk about SEP Retirement Plan. Before I get into the video, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment below saying I subscribed. I will try to personally reply to your comments. Let's get into the video. Like many small business owners, you probably find yourself very busy in the wake of COVID, slowdown, and are getting back up to speed. But do not forget about your future. There are a number of retirement plans available, including the key-off plans and the 401k. However, a simplified employee pension plan, SEP, may be your best option. The reason a SCP is simplified is that its retirement contributions are deposited into a traditional IRA account under the control of the SCP participant, thus eliminating most of the employer's administrative duties. That is why these plans are sometimes referred to as SCP IRAs. SCP functions much like key-off retirement plans, and they allow tax-deductible contributions for both employees and self-employed individuals. For an employee, the maximum contribution for 2021 is the lesser of 25% of that employee's compensation, or $58,000. These contributions are excluded from the employee's wages and are not subject to withholding for income tax or FICA. A self-employed person can contribute 25% of his or her compensation after deducting the employer's contribution, which boils down to the smaller of 20% of the business net profit of $58,000. Each year, the employer can specify a compensation amount between 0 and 25%, not exceeding the maximum for the year. SCPs are a great option for startups and other small businesses that have unpredictable income and that may be leery of the long-term contribution matches required with other types of retirement plans. SCPs are also a great option for self-employed individuals with no employees, as the contributions are based upon net profits, allowing the business owner to select the maximum percentage while knowing that the required contribution will be small in a low-income years. Except for when employees are covered by collective bargaining agreements, an employer that elects to make a SCP contribution for the year must contribute to an employee's SCP IRA if the employee is at least 21 years of age, has worked for the employer in at least 3 of the prior 5 calendar years, and for 2021 has compensation of at least $650. The compensation floor is subject to inflation adjustment annually and had been $600 from 2015 through 2020. Another advantage of SCP plans is that contributions are allowed after the account owner has reached the age of 72 and must begin taking required minimum distributions from the plan. As with all traditional IRAs and qualified plans, distributions from an SCP are taxable and subject to a 10% early withdrawal penalty if funds are withdrawn before age 59 and a half. A SEP IRA must be set up by or for each eligible employee and may be set up with banks, insurance companies, or other qualified financial institutions. When setting up a SEP plan, you can adopt the IRS model plan by using Form 5305 SEP, or you can adopt whatever plan is offered by the financial institution you will be dealing with, the latter being the better option to ensure that all plan requirements are met. If using a financial institution plan, be sure to discuss the plan's fee. A SEP can be established and funded up to the due date of the business income tax, even up to the extended due date. A SEP may be the best option for your business retirement plan. Therefore, I would recommend talk to a financial professional on how an SEP plan might work for your particular business structure, or to determine whether other options should be considered. Thanks for watching this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.